Hello everyone. I just came back from coaching. I wanted to continue my World Cup history videos. I said 1996 World Cup last video, so I want to put the 1999 World Cup. It was a very special World Cup, remembered for a lot of us, especially that semi-final between Australia and South Africa, the tied match. People will remember that Lance Close and Aaron Donald getting run out. And I remember it was a special occasion because I was just around in college at that time. So, the younger you are, the sweeter the memories are. Anyway, the 1999 World Cup was held for a change. It was just 3 years gap between the World Cup. Normally it's four. 87, 92, there was a 5 year gap, but here there was only 3 years. And it was held in England after a long time, after many years. And there were a few matches in Ireland, Wales, Scotland, and Netherlands as well. Just a few matches, but basically most of the matches happening in England. And for the first time in the World Cup, there was a Super Six stage in the World Cup, where there were 12 teams in the World Cup, and they were into two groups of six each, and three top teams from each group qualified for the Super Sixes. That was the first time in World Cup history. And there was another thing as well: the teams that qualified for the Super Six would also carry forward points they collected against the same teams that qualified with them. So that was important who they beat in the group stage that qualified together with them. And in some of the important matches that happened in the group stage, Zimbabwe beat India in a close match. Andy Flower got 68 runs, I think, batting first, and Henry Olanga got 3 wickets, and India lost a close match, I think, by 3 runs. That was a close match. And there was another match famous where Sachin Tendulkar scored 140 runs against Kenya. The first innings he batted after his father passed away. I mean, in between the World Cup, he had to come back to India to attend his father's funeral. And the very first match that he played after that, he scored 140 against Kenya. So it was a very touching moment for him and for the whole of India. Then there were some matches. South Africa top Group A. They only lost one match, and that was to Zimbabwe as well. That was another close match, a not expected match in the group stage. Zimbabwe beat South Africa, and Neil Johnson, who is actually South African, he scored 70 odd runs, and he also took 3 wickets, bowling second. So that was a very big all round performance from Neil Johnson, and he was the man of the match, obviously, in that match. Then there was a match where New Zealand, Pakistan, by the way, topped Group B. They only lost one match, and they topped the Group B. Pakistan beat Australia in that match by 10 runs. I have mentioned in one of my videos Wasim Akram taking 4 wickets, where he was practically impossible to play. The ball was swinging all around. I've mentioned in one of my videos Pakistan beating Australia by 10 runs in the group stage. Then New Zealand also beat Australia in the group stage, I think by 5 wickets. Jeff Allett, the left-arm bowler, took 4 wickets. And Roger Choose, the left-handed batsman, got 80 not out, and New Zealand beating Australia. And by the way, the player of the series was Lance Klusener. No surprises there. Lance Klusener winning a lot of close matches for South Africa, scoring 50s and at a high strike rate as well. As most of the times when South Africa were in trouble. Just sad that he couldn't finish it in that semi-finals. The player, the most runs in the World Cup was Rahul Dravid. I think he got around 450 runs. Well played to Rahul Dravid. I mean, one of the best technicians of the game. He really had a good World Cup. And the highest wicket taker, I mean, there were two bowlers who were tied on 20 wickets. Jeff Allett, the left-arm opening bowler for New Zealand. A lot of people would remember he used to have his left shoes, I mean his big the big toe, it used to come out of his shoes. He used to have it like a hole at the shoe. I mean, a lot of people who have watched that World Cup would remember that. Jeff Allen getting 20 wickets, but Shane Warne also got 20 wickets, so both of them were tied on 20 wickets. Shane Warne was the man of the match in the semi-finals and the finals, taking 4 wickets each. So he got 8 wickets just in those two matches. I think Mohindra Amarnath was the man of the match in the semi-final and final of the 1983 World Cup. I'm pretty sure about it. So it doesn't happen that often. Same player, man of the match in the semi-finals and the finals. And another match that was India-Pakistan, a Super 6 match. India beat Pakistan comfortably, and Venkatesh Prasad took 5 wickets that day. India normally used to have beaten Pakistan in all the 50 over World Cups, and Venkatesh Prasad normally bowls well. Even in that 1996 heated exchange between Amir Sohail, he took wickets and taking 5 wickets again, Indian beating Pakistan in that Super 6 match. And South Africa had a close win against Pakistan by 3 wickets in that Super 6 as well. Batting second, Lance Klusener was the player of the match, coming and striking some lusty blows towards the end, especially of Shoaib Akhtar, who was bowling fast. Jacques Kallis also got a 50 in that match, batting well. And then coming to the quarterfinals, semifinals. Sorry, the most important one of the most important matches in the context was that Super Six match, South Africa Australia. South Africa batting scored 271, very high total. Herschel Gibbs getting a very good 100, and in reply, Australia were 48 for 3, and they were struggling. And Steve-O and Ricky Ponting put a good partnership. And when Steve-O was on 56, Lance Klusener bowled, and Steve-O flicked a ball to the mid wicket, and Herschel Gibbs. It was such an easy catch, and he caught the ball. And he used to always do that time. I mean, he used to throw the ball quickly in the air in celebration, and suddenly he threw the ball up in the air, and he lost control of the ball, and it fell down. So it was not counted as a catch, and Steve-O was given not out. He was batting on 56 at that stage. Australia still leading a lot of runs, and it seems Steve-O went to Herschel Gibbs and said, "Mate, you have just dropped the World Cup." And it takes a lot of guts to say that when you're still on 56 team, needing a lot of runs to qualify for the semis. And obviously Australia entered the semis and won the finals as well. So if any player had the will, the nerve to say that to Herschel Gibbs, I mean, that would have been Steve-O. Steve-O went on to score 120 not out, and Australia winning a very close match there, chasing 271 against South Africa. And in the semi-finals, the first semi-finals, Australia-Pakistan was a one-sided affair. I think New Zealand got around 230, 240. And Saeed Anwar batting second, I mean, played a masterclass innings. He scored 130 not out. And Pakistan won by 9 wickets, huge win in the semi-finals. And Saeed Anwar was one of my favorite players, a very touch player, had so much of timing, and was a very elegant player to watch as well. He had scored 194 in one of the matches against India in 90s. I mean, he was the one who came closest to 200 and could have easily scored 200 if not he had given up this wicket for the team cause there were still overs to go. Anyway, the second semi-final was the match of the tournament. South Africa bowling first restricted Australia to 213 runs. Michael Bevan got 65 runs, and Alan Donald took 4 wickets, and Sean Pollock took 5 wickets. And in fact, Sean Pollock and Alan Donald, one of the best opening bowling partnerships of all time, especially with the variety. Alan Donald with his big pace and fearsome bouncers, and Sean Pollock with his accuracy and his swing, not as fast. They were such a bowling partnership, I mean, a variety combination. And between them, they bowled 19.2 overs in that semi-final for just 68 runs, and they took 9 wickets. I mean, that is some spell. And Donald and Pollock used to take a lot of wickets around the 97, 98, 99 years. I mean, they were unplayable and they did well. And batting second, South Africa were 48 without loss. And then Shane Warne came and bowled that beauty of a ball to Herschel Gibbs, pitching on leg stump and taking the off stump, and it put panic across the South African camp. And then Gary Kirsten trying to slog sweep got bowled by Shane Warne. And then Jack Callis got a 50, and he got caught of the last ball of Shane Warne's spell. That was very important. Hansi Cronje got a tough decision. He was caught when the ball touched his foot and not the bat. So that was a bad thing that happened to South Africa. And Lance Klusener, 31 runs not out, played towards the end. Jonty Rhodes got 43 runs, and even Sean Pollock got 20 runs. Hit Shane Warne for a straight 6 and a 4, but South Africa couldn't finish it off. And it was one run of 4 balls, and Lance Klusener and Alan Donald a big mix up and getting run out. So it was a tie, and Australia went to the finals just because they had won that Super 6 match against Australia where Steve-O scored that 120 not out. And in the finals, it was a totally one-sided affair. Australia batted first and were bowled out for 132 runs. Shane Warne taking 4 wickets, and Australia winning by 8 wickets. Adam Gilchrist getting 54. So that was a very one-sided finals. So it was already the finals, the semi-finals between Australia and South Africa. Let's see what happens in this World Cup, because this World Cup also is South Africa versus Australia World Cup. if it is anywhere close to that Edgbaston semifinals, it will be a match to remember. So anyway, that's my 99 World Cup flashback. A lot of things to say in that World Cup. So I hope you have enjoyed, especially the older generation who have seen that 1999 World Cup was one of the best World Cups ever. So I hope you enjoyed it. Anyway, thank you, take care, and God bless you.